All right, the one and only Inari, ladies and gentlemen.
In the building.
Welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, happy to have you. The pleasure's on this side.
Yes, sir.
Songfinch artist, Chicago artist, hip-hop, rap leaning, but I know the songwriter, producer, multifaceted, just kind of the dude.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, man.
Dude, and not to put you on blast, young buck too, right? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 20. Yeah.
Congrats on all the success.
Hey, thank you.
And we're in Chicago. You're a Chicago native, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Southside, born and raised.
Yeah, you know I have to do that. If anybody who ever hears my interviews, I'm Chicago, Southside as
sir.
well. So
There's
I always
pride
have
in
to,
it. Yeah. Facts.
There is a grittiness and like a chip that comes with that. For
Yeah,
sure,
it is.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. It's a hard knock city, but like, you know, we get a bad rep, but it's all love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So how'd you get your start in music? I know that you were like dabbling in like producing stuff, and then you kind of were into poetry a bit. Like how'd you get your start in music? How'd you get here?
Well, really, I've been around music my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom, she's always played music in the car, like car rides. That's where I really like first started to perceive music and stuff like that.
What was she listening to? Not to cut you off.
She was listening to Jay-Z. I remember Watch the Throne. That was like, and also what's that Kanye album? In the Night I Hear Him Talk. That whole album, like, she always played that. And my first concert was in like 2011 when Kanye went on the Yeezus tour. I saw Kendrick Lamar open for Kanye.
Me too, at the United Center.
At the United Center, you were there?
Show.
Wow, yeah. That was my first concert
they had that
ever.
Cool like ramp coming out, and it was kind of like bouncy or whatever. Kanye was doing his diamond-studded mask routine.
Top of the mountain. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, that was my first concert, and so, but it wasn't until like 2017 when I started to like write raps. I wrote my first rap. My uncle had a restaurant on like 83rd and Halsted. It was called Three Chefs. Anybody from the South Side, y'all probably know about that. Yeah, he owned that restaurant. And I remember one time I was upstairs. He told me to go downstairs and write a rap. And so I was like, okay. Like I never wrote a rap at this moment. Like I used to write scripts because I wanted to be an actor.
Oh, nice.
So, but like, you know what I'm saying? I went downstairs, wrote the rap, came upstairs, rapped it for him. Probably it was trash. And so that's like how it started for real. And so ever since then, I would go like, I was in elementary school, 8th grade. They would have like these freestyle Fridays.
Oh, nice.
And so I was just around the hip hop culture. And so I fell in love with it. I never went up there because, you know, I was too scared back then. But as I got older, my freshman year was a talent show. And I just did it. I was like, me and my brother, he passed away, but God rest his spirit. So we did it together. And in that moment, I threw my hands up and I was like, yeah. And then that was the moment. I was like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
Dude, the first time you get a taste of whatever you want to call it, that spark, that energy, because I'm an artist too. I'm a rapper as well. So like, but the first time you perform, you get just like a little feedback and that warmth, and it's just like, oh, yeah, we're going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But there's a big gap though from writing a rap on a piece of paper on 83rd and Halsted and then actually figuring out how to write a song, get it produced, recorded. What was the first time like your foray into like actually writing and tracking like a song?
I want to say in 2018 on like it was on SoundCloud, released it on SoundCloud. It was in the studio. It was Shock House Studios. Shout out Shock House Studios.
Okay.
It was like just came in there with my boy Zion. Yeah. And so we just did that song, put it on SoundCloud, and that was my first experience in the studio ever. It was actually surprisingly good. Like I'm not even gonna lie, like it was like smooth. I didn't do too many takes, like because obviously I rehearsed it over and over again before I got there. So like, but you know, it was a magical experience. I was just like, man, it was just like that first time on stage. Like I want to do this.
And then Songfinch wise, what? You've written like 40 songs for Songfinch, right?
Yeah, probably, but I couldn't even count because it's like they just go, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so many and you get so like into it, I don't even count, at least me.
How'd you get involved with Songfinch in the first place?
Literally, man, I was on Handshake, the app.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like I was just applying for stuff, you know what I'm saying? Broke college student, just needed some money, and I just refused to do the 9-to-5 thing, you know, not that it's anything wrong with that, but it just wasn't me.
Yep.
And so I wanted to focus on music because I know it was hard. Like I used to work for a different company and like it was like so hard for me. Totally unmusic related, and it was like hard for me to focus on my music at the same time as that. And so I was like, I need to find something that will feed my art as well as feed my pockets. Right. So like Songfinch was like one of the options, and I applied for it. I thought it was too good to be true, but it was true, and it was like it's everything I could imagine and more. So like shout out Songfinch, man, y'all doing artists out here justice and like showing amazing love. And
well,
it's
appreciate
great.
that, because that's all we're trying to do is give an outlet. It's so hard to monetize your music, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It really is.
Like, especially in hip hop, because like you can't just like take your guitar and go play a coffee shop and make a good $200 or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like you have to like build out an actual show and figure out your streams and your merch. And I know every genre has to do that, but I feel like especially hip hop, you can't just like go busking and like put the hat down. I mean, you know what I mean? Kind of deal.
And it's so many people that rap. So it's like it's a whole bunch of competition out here. So it's like I definitely get what you're saying.
So what's next music-wise for you? Are you in like single mode or EP? Are you sitting on an album? Like, what are we doing music-wise?
I'm actually sitting on an album and a couple of singles right now. Like, I've already released 7. I got about 7 more, and then the album comes out. So it's like all themes with like faces and phases. And then the album is called, well, this is the first time I'm ever say it.
Exclusive.
Right here, it's Glorious Phases and Faces. So
that's dope.
That album's gonna come out.
Glorious Phases and Faces.
Yes, sir.
I like that.
So that album's coming out. Once you see like the last song, I say that it's the last song, expect the album to come right after that.
So you're gonna stagger some releases?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Stagger 6 or 7 of them and then drop the full project.
Yes, sir.
What's your main hustle social media wise right now? Like where are you really focusing the marketing social effort at?
Instagram.
Yeah, still Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, still Instagram. I'm trying to get more into the reels and TikTok. Like me and my manager Jonah out there, we like started doing reels and TikToks last year, and it kind of blew up. Like it was like 2K, 3K on our first one. So we're trying to like get back into that and just really go full force.
Yeah, I feel like that's the hustle nowadays.
Yeah.
We used to try to do full-fledged music videos with the whole production and the whole deal. Now I kind of just feel like you just need some kind of visual. You don't necessarily need 6 locations, and 50 cameras and a huge budget. We can kind of like one location, this thing,
iPhone,
change some lighting.
And I don't know, it's like really this new generation is all like, it's instant gratification.
Yes.
And I really believe that's because of social media and like, so like to adapt with that generation and to adapt with the new wave that's already here. I wouldn't even want to say coming.
Right.
That's already here is like the quick little videos that's eye-catching. Like you said, like gotta look nice, gotta be, well put together. Like that's what I've really noticed.
Have you had the opportunity to play out a lot yet, really?
Play out as in like shows and stuff like
shows.
that? Yeah, I did Millennium Park. Shout out to Amina and Cool Out Chris.
Nice.
So we did Millennium Park. It was like a hip-hop blues festival. And so that was at the Millennium Park stage.
And for those not from Chicago watching this is like casual. Like Millennium Park is like the biggest park that's like the stage. That's crazy.
Literally,
Congratulations.
it's right there. Thank you, man.
Dope.
Thank you. That was like life changing. I was just like, oh my goodness. Like literally 4 or 5 years before that, my brother that I said Tristan that passed. Like literally before that, we kind of like after hours we were on the stage where we wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, you gotta check it out. Yeah.
And we was out there and we was like, yeah, this is gonna be us. We gonna perform here, knowing we were in high school, so we didn't know anything about how to get there. And then like years later, this year, me and my brother Marion, we was also we were all tight. Like we performed there. Yeah. So it was like full circle type of moment. Dude, like it was crazy.
Risk of being corny. Manifestation, right?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like you can manifest that stuff.
Yeah, if you envision it, you can get it. If you can perceive it, you can achieve it.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Is the goal right now, like what's the balance? Are you purposely trying to play out and do shows consistently, or is it more the social media hustle and keep the singles coming? Like what's your approach right now?
It's really a little bit of both. I feel like in order to fully walk, you need both of those legs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the social media presence and then also the physical presence, like being in front of the fans and feeding them the attention that they actually crave from you. So, it's one thing to see somebody online all the time, but then it's one thing to be like, wow, I actually shook this man's hand and like he actually talked to me and, followed me back and stuff like that. So it's really the personal connection. I feel like as much as social media is going up, that physical, intimate relationship that you have with another human being is always going to exist because we're all human.
I feel like the industry and just really the world is shifting a little bit back towards authenticity.
Yeah.
Right? Like the barrier to entry to a lot of things, music, like you said, you want to be an actor. Like if you wanted to write a screenplay and shoot it on your iPhone, like you could literally do that. So the barrier to entry is almost getting eliminated.
Yeah.
So as a result, like it's a peek behind the curtain. Like, oh, that's Inari. And then if I get to meet him and hang with him, now it's almost like, yeah, you're building fans, but it's almost like you're building friends. You're building community around it. You know what I mean? And you can't go wrong because your friends are going to want to rock with you. So like, oh, that's that dude I met from that thing one time or whatever. You know what I mean?
And so now it's like, that's a lifelong, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to call fan. That's a lifelong family member.
That's what I'm saying. And you only need, what do they say? You only need like 1,000 diehard fans that will actually like buy your merch and rock with you or whatever. And you can actually sustain a living. You know what I mean?
You can build off of that.
Exactly.
Really.
Exactly.
And then that cuts down, like, that really cuts in half your, like, you know, having to promote yourself, because they will do it for you. Exactly. If they really are diehard fans, they really love you, they're going to tell everybody about it. Just like me and Songfinch. Like, I told everybody, all my friends about, you know, Songfinch, because I really love it. So it's the same thing, vice versa.
Let's plug your socials. Where can everybody find you at?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at INARI127. One more time, that's INARI127 on Instagram.
Nice, perfect. Everyone at Songfinch loves you. We dig your sound. We can't wait to grow with you, help you as much as humanly possible.
Thank you so much.
We're just indebted, and we're happy to be in business with you, and more importantly, happy to hang out with you in person for a little bit today.
Likewise, man.
Yeah,
I'm excited for today. You got cool events outside, and the office space is amazing, man. It looks beautiful in here. Glad to be a part of this. Really,
it's going to be a good one. Appreciate it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Inari.
Yes, sir.